Hey guys, welcome to the Drought&Proud podcast. My name is Nick.
Happy birthday to you.
Chris, what are you doing?
Happy birthday to you.
Chris, stop.
Happy birthday to Nick. Happy birthday to you.
Chris, you're embarrassing me.
Well, why did you have to be born today?
Alright, I was born early, okay? Leave me alone. I got bored inside the womb and I broke right out of the stomach. Well, if you guys can't tell, today is the day that I was born. Or removed, since technically I was born through a cesarean section. So I was never actually birthed. I was just slowly ripped out from my mother's belly with a big old knife. And a big old hand just grabbed me by the skull and ripped me out. And they cut off my umbilical cord with a samurai sword. It was pretty hardcore.
Good old memories, you know?
Yeah. It was real bloody. Kind of seemed like a Quentin Tarantino movie. It was like Kill Bill, but it was Birth Nick. It's pretty good scene.
Well, yeah, the day that this podcast is coming out, which is today, of course. That means it's Nick's birthday. So, happy birthday, Knock.
Yay! And you know, for my birthday, I got a pretty cool present. When we were checking out our thing today, we saw that we have 63 subscribers now.
Wow.
That may not seem like a lot to you guys, but I mean, that's 60 people. Do you know 60 people? That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
We're in the upper theirs now. We're almost to 100, and once we get to 100, we're deleting our channel.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, PewDiePie. No, I'm excited about that, and I'm very thankful. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys who actually find us very entertaining, and, you know, to those who don't, you know, please subscribe anyways. Just don't turn on notifications, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's that. We're pretty cool.
Yep.
And we have a couple topics today. You guys asked us to talk about the new Marvel movies coming out.
Yeah.
You know,
and just movies, yeah.
Movies in general, which happens to be Chris and I's forte, because we want to do movie stuff, and so we know a good bit about movies.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know? And I don't know, I think Marvel movies are pretty cool. I think they really touch on to things. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know
what are you talking about?
I know, but...
Okay. So where you want to start, Nick? You want to start at the beginning, or do you want to start at, you know, the... right now? You want to start right now?
Well, why don't we start with Marvel movies as a whole first, right?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. I
feel like Marvel movies, the superhero movies, I find them to be very similar to the first Star Wars trilogy, in the way that they kind of break up the monotony of the film industry, because they're not really there to be good, they're there just to be fun. You know what I mean?
You think so?
I feel like they serve kind of the same purpose as Star Wars, because back in the 70s and the 80s, all the movies were long and boring. They had all these long shots, and they're very artistic. But they're also very snobby and didn't really connect with the common person.
Yeah, okay.
You know, because they were like, this is kind of boring. You know, if you were younger than 21, you know, you were kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
But then Star Wars comes out, and it's all like, pew pew pa-choo, pew pew pa-choo, pew pew, and you're like, wow, lasers, my dude, that's swaggy. I don't know what people said in the 80s.
That's swaggy.
I don't know. Bodacious, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, gnarly. Now they're surfers. I don't know.
Huh.
And so, after Star Wars came out, you see a lot more, you know, an increased number of films that are kind of just for fun, which I think is super cool, because fun movies are fun, you know what I mean? F-U-N. That's an acronym for...
Fun.
Fun, yeah.
All right. I don't know. With the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it definitely has changed a lot of what's going on in movies. And I guess in the beginning, I felt like it was just like fun. But with as many movies as they're putting out, as many movies as they're putting out right now, I feel like it's gone from fun to the kind of like, this is really just some business stuff that we're doing. And that kind of makes me sad, you know, like seeing some fun things happen. Nick, stop. Seeing some fun things happen, and then, you know, have it just turn into a big old business, you know? Like, that's no fun.
I feel it.
And, like, I thought, like, when it's a franchise, and it's good because, you know, they're making movies and they're making money and doing all these things. And it's definitely a lot better than, like, the earlier ones, you know, starting with the modern franchise with Iron Man. I think that they've grown a lot more than they have, like, when they were doing the movies from before, you know? And, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. You have anything to say? No, I'm just sitting here by myself alone. Cool. I'm gonna take over that.
No, I'm sorry. I was just getting distracted. I feel it though. I mean, and when you think about it, the Star Wars movies have kind of started to do the same thing. You know, especially with the prequel movies. Nobody really asked for the prequel. Well, okay, no. I'm sure a lot of people asked for the prequel movies, but you know, it kind of feels like a cash grab, and them extending it even more with sequels also kind of feels like a cash grab.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like the Star Wars movies, like they're still pretty good though.
But the thing is, Star Wars, they have like something to leave behind. You know, like they didn't just like make movies, but they changed the way that movies like were seen during the time. And I guess Marvel movies have done that, but Marvel movies do it very safe. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Nick zoned out.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I feel it, but I also feel like Marvel movies are changing the way that movies are made, except Marvel movies are not making a change in how movies are made in the artistic sense, but they're instead making a change in how movies are made in the monetary sense. And by what I mean by that is I feel like there are a lot more franchises now, and there are a lot more cash grabs, and just movies that didn't need to be made, you know what I mean? Like, Superman vs. Batman, Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
I remember in the very first trailer, it was Superman versus Batman, and that was the big deal. It was like, oh crap, you know, they're making that. And then by the time they got to their last and final trailer, right before the movie came out, it had turned into Dawn of Justice. Mm-hmm. No longer was it just about Batman and Superman. It was all of a sudden...
It was about setting up movies that were supposed to be coming up later.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what Marvel has turned their franchise into, is to a thing to where you watch a movie and you're not really satisfied, but then you see the trailer for the next movie and then you're all like, that one's gonna be good.
Dude, I hate that so much. It's like... I feel like if people would just make a movie for what it is... Mm-hmm. And then just leave some plot, just leave some things unanswered, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard. Just make a good movie, and then just don't answer some of the questions, and then people demand for another one to answer the questions that you didn't answer. I don't see what's so hard about that. I mean, I guess, I don't know. It's hard, you know, because you have to put in the work. But I mean, just maybe making it a little less obvious that you're just setting up other movies.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know, Marvel has always done the thing where afterwards they'll have a little thing that'll show you what's coming up in the next one, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the after credit scene.
I always think that, like, I think that's neat, but I don't know how I see it anymore, you know? Like, at first it was like, whoa, no one's doing this is kind of cool, where people were doing it, but, like, I don't know, it was just something that was, like, you didn't know whether it was going to be there or not.
Exactly, yeah, but now I feel like the after credit scenes...
Like, you have to stay for them.
And I don't know if they even say anything that has to do with what's going on. Like I'm sitting here thinking about it, and some of the after-credit scenes that I've seen in other movies, that just nothing of any importance has come from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it used to be like, oh, but like this character's still alive, and you're going to have to see him in the next movie. But now it's kind of like...
Here's the next movie. You know, they just announced what their next movie that's coming out is going to be.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like, just in the Marvel ones, at least.
I feel like the last after-credit scene I saw was probably in Ant-Man. And in the Ant-Man after-credit scene, I think it's like Tony Stark and Rogers. I forget his first name all of a sudden. and Captain America, that guy. It's like the two of them, and they're like interrogating the Winter Soldier.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, snap, you know, they're setting that up for the next movie.
That's pretty crazy.
But then that never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the next 3 movies following Ant-Man, that never happened.
Yeah.
And I was really let down. I was like, where's the continuity? What's going on? Did you just forget about that scene?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, even in Civil War, at no point do they interrogate him like that.
I just feel like the more movies that they're pumping out from Marvel, like the less exciting that their movies are getting.
Yeah.
And that's just having to do with like quality versus quantity and that kind of stuff. Like their movies are okay to good quality, you know, like I would go see a Marvel movie in theaters, but is it something that I look forward to? Not really, because once you've seen like Captain America, you don't really want to go see Captain America 2 or anything like that unless you want to stay caught up with the franchise.
Yeah, I feel it.
And that's what I don't like about it, is that most of the time you have to watch like the main movies to understand what's happening. Like I think the only movies where you don't have to watch and like you'll still get what's happening are like the side movies, like with Ant-Man and that kind of stuff, or like maybe Thor 2. Just like the Thor movies, you don't have to watch those. But
I think the Iron Man movies work pretty well.
Yeah. The Iron Man movies and the Captain America movies are the ones that draw the people in, so they'll watch the movies that set up for the next movie.
Okay, I mean, the Captain America movies are pretty much just the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like,
especially with the last one, Captain America, what's it called?
Civil War. It was basically...
That was just the Avengers.
It was Avengers 1.5.
But the comics were like labeled under Captain America or whatever.
Yeah.
But like that still doesn't change it. That's basically what you're getting is another Avengers movie.
Yeah. And that was kind of a letdown, because I really wanted to see some serious Captain America action like I saw in Winter Soldier. Captain America Winter Soldier was a really good movie. Like, I thought it was pretty good. Maybe it was because it was just an action movie. I enjoyed it for what it was.
That's the only movie in the whole entire thing that I haven't seen besides Thor 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I'm very picky when it comes to movies, because oftentimes I'll see it and I'll be like, okay, so this movie is pretty good, but it's not stupendous. So if a movie isn't stupendous, I'll like pay attention to the cinematography or like the coloring, the color grading that they use. Because if that's good, that'll be enough to push my opinion over to good. But if the story and the character development isn't really holding me, and then everything else is kind of... I didn't even look at anything else.
And you did not like the first Captain America movie.
The first Captain America movie was a big montage. The entire movie was a montage, and I wanted to see some cool fighting.
I still liked it. I thought that told a story there.
I mean, yeah, it told a story, but I wanted to see some fighting, dude. Captain America is one of my favorite people, and just seeing him be all like, "Watch out!" I think that's cool, and that's what I got in Winter Soldier, and so I think that's why I liked it so much. Honestly.
Man. I don't like when they just throw in senseless fights. Senseless fights? I don't know. They just throw in fights in a movie just because. Like in the other Avengers movie where they have Iron Man and Hulk fight. Like, they just threw that in there just to get people to go and watch, I think.
Yeah, I think we can call that trailer bait.
Yeah.
It's basically...
The entire fight was in every single trailer.
Yeah, and it really had no big impact on the story at all.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, it was just there.
That was just there. It was just there. It was like, I don't know, like 10 minutes of the movie. I don't know. It was a long fight, and it didn't serve any purpose. And I was like, I wasn't even looking forward to this. I was looking forward to seeing something happen. But I guess they are making movies for a large audience and that kind of stuff. And like, I don't know. They go with like the things that a lot of people want to see, and that some other people would just be like, yeah, okay with,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like they make decisions to make other people, like, specifically happy. Like, I was watching a video about it, and, like, there's no nostalgia. There's not going to be any nostalgia around the Marvel movies, I don't think. Because there's no way that you could think of something, or just, like, something will remind you of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel it. Like, in the future, it's not going to be like, oh man, you remember Avengers 2?
Yeah.
Wow. It's not going to be like...
It's not going to be like that.
Man, remember Back to the Future? Like, damn. It's not going to be the same.
Well, I was watching a video, and it was like, what's the Star Wars? Can you name a song from Star Wars? Or do a tune of it? And people were like, dun, 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 or whatever,
Yeah.
And then they were all like, what about Back to the Future? And they did da-da-da-da-da, or whatever.
You just did the Jurassic Park.
That was not the Jurassic Park.
Da-da-da. Wait, no. Is it?
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, okay. Well, this doesn't need to go in the podcast, but it's in here anyway.
I don't think that's the Jurassic. I don't know. Anyways, continue on.
That is the Back to the Future, and I think the same person wrote the music for each of the movies. But then they asked, what about the Marvel movies? And you cannot think of any music from the Marvel movies. Like
bum. Bum.
I thought that was interesting that they did that. Like they do things, and like they're good movies when you watch them, but there's nothing that you really remember about them. And that's what's sad about it, is that they're making good movies, but they're playing it too safe, and they're not making a franchise that will hold itself together for very much longer, I think.
I feel it. I kind of feel like the movies that they're making can't exactly be considered art. I mean, they could be considered art, but I feel like their purpose is not to make art, but their purpose is to make spectacle.
Yeah.
I feel like these movies are made for no other reason than to both appease fanboys and to have a new audience be like, whoa, look at that action! That Hulk vs. Iron Man fight is so cool!
Yeah.
So cool!
I will say they do have some nice stories, though. Like, they have the Doctor Strange movie that just came out. I went and saw that.
I haven't seen that, though. I honestly can't judge it. I heard a lot of people were angry because it was whitewashed.
I really liked it. I don't know. I can't say if it was whitewashed or not. But I thought it was good. Like, there was a story, and like a lot of it did have like a lot of like CGI kind of stuff, and I was like, whoa! But it's a movie. Like, a good amount of that is what you're watching, and what I was watching was very interesting.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing with making a movie that's based on spectacle. You can get away with it. You can do it, and
it just has to be good.
It has to be spectacular enough that people that actually keep an eye on the quality of the movie, people like you and I, if it's good enough, it'll go right past us, and we'll be like, wow, great movie. But if it's subpar and it's only kind of spectacle, it's going to get run through the mud. Now, don't get me wrong, most people are just like, "Whoa, that was so cool!"
Yeah.
And a movie that I think is really good spectacle, even though it's totally ridiculous and doesn't have much plot or anything, is the movie Battleship. I don't know if you've seen the movie Battleship.
I don't like the movie.
You don't like Battleship? I really like the movie Battleship. It's
so boring. Like, 50% of the movie is just them talking and sitting.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know. I just, when they had the music going and the battleship's all like, pa-choo, pa-choo, okay. I was just like, damn, that was a good scene.
I never got all the way through Battleship just because it was so bad that I had to stop watching.
Dude, the ending Battleship scene is like, it kind of makes the whole movie worth it, dude.
I just can't say that I have the patience for that movie, I guess.
All right, I'll show you the scene after this, and then you'll be like, well, this is a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
You'll be impressed.
I don't feel like that'll be enough to make me be all like, whoa, that movie was good, I don't know. It's all opinions and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think
if you don't like our opinions, that's fine.
I think with that movie, it's mostly just the music that really gets me into it. Because it's Creedence Clearwater Revival, one of my favorite bands, from the 70s. My mom's favorite band when she was young. And I'm really into that band. And so when hearing that, I'm just like, yeah, And so I think that's why it connected with me. I'm sure if they had different music, I'd be disappointed.
I think at the time I watched it, we had just gotten it just got on DVD or whatever, and I was like, whoa, this is going to be cool, because I see all the commercials. The commercials are all actiony, and, I gets to it, and it's just like, they're sitting around talking, and I'm just like, why? This is so bad.
The Avengers 2, I feel like that was kind of the point where the Marvel movies started to kind of go downhill a little bit, was Avengers 2, at least for me, because I felt like it was still sticking with the spectacle model, but it wasn't, I don't know, I haven't seen it in so long, I can't even really judge it. I feel like the story wasn't exactly there. It was kind of, the story was pretty much just like, oh no, this thing is falling, let's save it, And I don't really expect a super detailed, complex story.
Yeah.
But the spectacle for me was kind of lost just because of how much CGI they used. And the CGI was really obvious to me. And I was a little let down, I mean, I like close-up shots where it's like, wacha, wacha.
I don't know what's up with the Marvel movies, but like, especially in the last one that they did, was that the second one?
That was Avengers 2.
No. The one that I'm talking about is Civil War. Just like, there were so many CGI parts in that movie where I was just like, this is disgusting. Like, I don't know. I can't do CGI or anything like that. So who am I to judge? But like, just as a someone who watches movies, if I see CGI where someone's trying to jump across a building and it's super fake, Like, I hate it.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
And I mean, and there's good CGI and there's bad CGI. And I don't even think it's the quality of the CGI itself. It's just where you decide to use it. You know? Because there are some things that you can do practically, and it'll look good.
I will highly recommend a movie that doesn't use as much CGI as some other ones, you know?
Okay, what movie is that?
I don't know. I'm not saying that I have one in mind.
I thought you were saying that you had something.
If I am watching one, or if I have watched one, and there are a lot of action scenes, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's real, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's either real or it's really good CGI.
Right.
But like, if I watch something like that, then I will suggest it as opposed to like some, I don't know, space alien thing, you know?
Right.
I don't know, something that's super CGI'd.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I feel like it's all about where you use it. And I feel like some directors, they really want a certain shot, and so instead of basing it on the story and making it good, they kind of base it off like the shot that they want, and so they'll use CGI to make up for mistakes. Or something, like you said, jumping across a roof. Yeah, it would be a really cool shot to get it, you know, from right in his point of view and using CGI to make it obvious. But it would be even better to get maybe something above and have a stunt double do it. You know?
Is that a lot of the CGI used in movies, you can't tell that it's there. Like,
that's
in
true.
all honesty.
That's how you know it's good CGI, when you don't even notice it.
But like, they use it just for like color correction, or like there's a crowd of people. Like, most crowds of people in movies are fake.
Yeah.
Like, because big budget movies don't want to spend all the money getting a whole bunch of people and paying all those, you know, extras. So they'll just, you know, put some CGI in there, and that'll be it. And I think it's good, because most of the time it's done well.
Yeah, and I feel like
you most of the time never like see it though, you know.
Yeah,
and that's
no,
you were saying.
Oh,
sorry.
I think that's the biggest reason why CGI gets such a bad rap. It's just the fact that good CGI you don't see, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to go unnoticed. It looks real.
Yeah,
and so all we ever see is bad CGI, and that's why we're like, oh man, CGI sucks.
Yeah. But
there's some scenes that are just really good scenes, and you don't even realize that they're CGI. And none of them come to mind right now. But I think Cinefix has a really good list about it. You know, like the top 5 scenes that you won't believe are CGI.
Such a clickbait title that you made up right now.
Yeah, just clickbait stuff.
But yeah, that's crazy.
I'm hopeful for the Marvel. The Marvel movies, I think.
I am hopeful.
I feel like they have some potential to them, and I hope that J.J. Abrams and whoever directs the new ones, I hope they kind of try and make the movies a little more independent. You know, less part of a group.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think that's all for today. You know, we hope you enjoyed listening to us babble.
Talk about movies.
Yeah, and you know, there's so much more we can get into with the Marvel movies. They're really big. And if there's anything else you guys want us to talk about, remember to comment below.
Yeah, put it in the comments.
Let us know what's up. Otherwise, we're just going to have to throw a dart at a monkey who's then going to catch said dart and then throw it at a board that's spinning that has ideas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you for listening. And have a great Saturday, my dudes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go party because it's my birthday.
And I'm going to go feed some homeless people.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
Bye guys.